Have you ever felt invisible to yourself? As if, amidst the demands of daily life, you've forgotten who you truly are and the incredible power that resides within you. It's a common feeling. But today, and throughout our Mirror Ritual series, I invite you to embark on a transformative journey, a trip back home, to your most authentic self. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Louise Hay, we're going to rediscover one of the most faithful allies on your journey of self-love and acceptance, the mirror. More than just a reflection, it's a portal. This is an invitation to a daily ritual, simple yet profoundly powerful, where every gaze becomes an act of courage and every word a step towards your healing. In each episode of this series, we will explore a specific life change focused on real challenges and practical solutions to help you release what no longer serves you and embrace the life you truly deserve. This week, we will focus on healing self-criticism. For best results, repeat this exercise every day before going to bed. So, find your sanctuary, grab your mirror, and prepare to look into the eyes of your soul. Let's begin this ritual of love and transformation together. Stand or sit in front of the mirror. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply, inhaling calm and exhaling any tension or worry. Feel present in the here and now. Open your eyes and look directly into your own eyes. Don't look away. Allow yourself to see the person who is there, with all their beauty and imperfections. This is an act of courage and love. Place one hand over your heart. Feel the beat of life within you. With the other hand, gently touch your face in the mirror's reflection, as if you were caressing yourself with the purest affection. Begin to speak aloud, looking into your own eyes. Repeat each affirmation, feeling the emotion behind each word. As you speak, visualize a soft, healing light of the color you like best, emanating from your heart and filling your entire body. See this light dissolving any negativity. Feel it radiating outwards from you, touching everything around you. I place my hand on my heart and speak to myself with the kindness I deserve. I am learning to be my own gentle friend instead of my harshest critic. I allow myself to be human, which means I'm allowed to make mistakes. I choose to speak to myself the way I would speak to someone I love. I am enough, exactly as I am, in this moment. I soften the voice in my head and replace criticism with curiosity. I am learning that perfection is not required for me to be worthy of love. I allow myself to be a work in progress without rushing the process. I choose patience with myself as I grow and learn new ways of being. I am allowed to have bad days without making them mean something is wrong with me. I speak to my inner critic with compassion, knowing it's trying to protect me. I am learning that my worth is not determined by my productivity or achievements. I allow myself to rest without feeling guilty about taking time to recharge. I choose to celebrate small progress instead of focusing on what's left to do. I am kind to myself when I don't meet my own expectations. I soften my inner dialogue and choose words that support my healing. I am learning that self-compassion is not self-indulgence, but self-care. I allow myself to feel proud of showing up, even when it feels imperfect. I choose to treat my mistakes as learning opportunities, not character flaws. I am enough, not because of what I do, but because of who I am. I place my hand on my chest and remind myself that I'm doing my best. I am learning to question the critical thoughts that don't serve my well-being. I allow myself to be gentle with my own tender heart. I choose to focus on my efforts rather than demanding perfect outcomes. I am worthy of the same compassion I freely give to others. I soften my expectations and allow myself to be beautifully imperfect. I am learning that my inner critic's voice is not the voice of truth. I allow myself to feel disappointed without adding shame to the experience. I choose to honor my sensitivity as a gift, not a weakness. I am allowed to change my mind about what I thought I should be. I speak to myself with the tenderness I would offer a dear friend. I am learning that self-acceptance doesn't mean giving up on growth. I allow myself to have needs without feeling like a burden. I choose to acknowledge my efforts, even when the results aren't perfect. I am enough, even on days when I don't feel particularly accomplished. I soften my judgment and replace it with gentle understanding. I am learning that my worth exists independent of other people's opinions. I allow myself to feel all of my emotions without labeling them as wrong. I choose to be patient with my healing journey, knowing it takes time. I am allowed to ask for help without feeling like I've failed. I place my hand on my heart and offer myself forgiveness for past mistakes. I am learning to see my struggles as part of being human, not personal failures. I allow myself to be seen and loved, even with my imperfections. I choose to focus on what I'm learning, rather than what I'm lacking. I am worthy of love and belonging, exactly as I am right now. I soften my inner voice and choose words that nurture my spirit. I am learning that comparison steals my joy and serves no useful purpose. I allow myself to take up space without apologizing for my existence. I choose to celebrate my unique journey instead of wishing I were different. I am enough, and I'm allowed to believe this truth about myself. I speak to my younger self with the love and understanding I needed then. I am learning that my value doesn't fluctuate based on my performance. I allow myself to feel proud of surviving difficult times with grace. I choose to be curious about my patterns instead of critical of them. I am worthy of taking care of myself without feeling selfish. I soften my resistance to receiving compliments and kind words. I am learning that self-criticism doesn't motivate me the way kindness does. I allow myself to be exactly where I am without rushing to be somewhere else. I choose to trust that I'm growing, even when progress feels slow. I am allowed to prioritize my well-being without justifying it to anyone. I place my hand on my heart and acknowledge how hard I've been trying. I am learning to separate my actions from my identity when I make mistakes. I allow myself to feel disappointed without spiraling into self-attack. I choose to focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. I am enough, not because I've earned it, but because it's my birthright. I soften my grip on perfectionism and embrace my beautifully messy humanity. I am learning that my inner critic is not my intuition or inner wisdom. I allow myself to change and grow without abandoning who I've always been. I choose to be gentle with myself, especially when life feels overwhelming. I am worthy of the love I seek, starting with the love I give myself. I speak to myself with the same compassion I would offer someone I care about. I am learning that my thoughts about myself are not facts, just thoughts. I allow myself to feel grateful for my body and all it does for me. I choose to acknowledge my strengths instead of only focusing on my weaknesses. I am enough, and this truth doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. I soften my inner dialogue and choose words that help me flourish. I am learning that self-love is a practice, not a destination I arrive at. I allow myself to be proud of how far I've come, even if there's still distance to go. I choose to end this practice knowing I am worthy of my own kindness. I place my hand on my heart and promise to keep learning how to love myself well. End the exercise by embracing yourself, or simply by keeping your hands over your heart and face. Thank yourself for this moment of connection and love.